Hey. Get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Roll one up, let's catch this flight. Pour another cup, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Hey, this your boy Tight. But you tuning in with Ray Ray's podcast. Picking my boy Ray. You know what I'm talking about?
Yo. We back at it again. You know, it's another edition of Ray Ray's podcast. You know I'm always coming live from the 10th floor of the beautiful Hello Studios, located in the beautiful downtown Dallas. Man, thank y'all for rocking with me one more time. Or if this is your first time tuning in, thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to check us out. Real quick, I just want you to pause real quick and click that button below. That like, that subscribe, do that. Yep, right now. You watching that, do that right now. Please follow all things Ray Ray's podcast. We would greatly appreciate that, all right? So for those who are familiar with the show, I like to always start off with the positive words. Or if this is your first time tuning in, maybe you having a rough day, rough week. Maybe your month is going bad, all right? So let's kind of like restart there, all right? So just in case nobody told you today, I just want you to know that you're beautiful, you're loved, you're needed. Hey, you alive for a reason. Hey, you stronger than you think. Whatever it is you're going through right now, you're going to get through this. See, here on this show, my show, Ray Ray's podcast, I am glad that you are alive. Most importantly, don't give up. It's always important to keep positive words in your mind and your heart, because tough situations, they always going to come up. At some point, it's how you bounce back and how your mental is when you get through those things. Make sure you keep your mental up, all right? Cool. Real quick, let me play these bills real quick. So if you're looking for your next vacation, you're looking for the best trip ever, you need to hit up my people at Lit Vacations. That's Litt Vacations. Man, they're going to make sure everything's taken care of for you. When I say you get the best rates possible, I mean the best rates possible. I'm talking about your excursions, your transfers to and from the airport. Whatever you need, you're going to have your own personal concierge. Hit up my guy, Austin, with Lit Vacations. If you need to put the destination wedding, the bachelor or bachelorette party, family reunion, the homie kickback, whatever it is you're trying to do, hit them up. Tell them Ray from Ray's podcast hit you. You know what I'm saying? And they going to take care of you. Bet. Cool. So, all year we're going to be celebrating 5 years of Ray Ray's podcast. So this year we started a new segment called Shout Out. This is where we shout out amazing artists, songs I just want you to jam, designers, any type of things like that I feel like is worth being shouted out. Actually, today's person that we're going to be shouting out is in the building today, and I'm going to give them a proper introduction momentarily. But real quick, I want y'all to go check out Champions by Krystall Poppin featuring Paul Wall. Go stream that joint on Spotify, Apple, wherever you like to get your music from. Go watch it on YouTube. Wherever you want to go check that song out. It is an amazing song. Go follow Krystall Poppin on social media, IG, wherever you like to get your social media fix. Doing big things, man. Make sure y'all go check out that song, Champions. Cool. All right, let's get to the main event, I like to call it right here. Man, we got this amazing artist I was just talking about. She's in the building right now. Everyone give a warm Ray Ray's podcast welcome to the girl, Krystall Poppin. What's up? How we doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, Ray Ray. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. I'm alive.
That's what's up.
It's a little cold outside, but it is what it is.
It's about to get worse, I heard.
It is supposedly like -2 degrees or something like that. Wind chill.
I'm not built for the cold. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that.
No. I think I think I'll be staying home.
Right, yeah. Extra cozy.
Extra cozy. Turn the heat all the way up to 100. I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, that's way too hot. But I appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Yes.
I know you got a lot of stuff going on.
No, thank you for having me.
No, anytime. I know you got a busy schedule. I see all the stuff you got going on. We're going to get into all that. But, let's get to know you better. I want my people to know you. So let's get to know you, all right?
Okay.
Who is Krystall Poppin? Let's talk about that. Then, where are you from, Krystall? And how you get in this music game?
So I'm from El Paso, Texas, born and raised on the central side of town, you know what I'm saying, the heart of the city. And honestly, I just feel like I'm just the girl next door that figured out she could rap. Honestly, that's what it is. And people over here and there trying to, be like, oh, like, I didn't know if I could come up to you and ask for a picture and all this shit. And that just trips me out because I'm just like, I just feel like I'm just Krystall from Central, you know, still, you know, every day. So that part trips me out for sure. But I'm just a regular person, you know?
So I want y'all to put this in perspective. All right, we're in Dallas right now. She's from El Paso.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how big Texas is. In El Paso, they in a different time zone from us.
Yep.
In Dallas, that's how big Texas is.
Yeah.
Like they say, like, I don't know how many states you can fit inside of Texas. Yeah, it's
It's
terrible.
crazy. Yeah. El Paso is so far from everything. Yeah. At least Dallas, Houston, and Austin is kind of reasonable, you know, like distance, kind of. And El Paso, from Houston into El Paso is 12 hours. You know what I mean? Like, we're such like for the people who don't know, we're in the far left corner. We're in the corner of Texas, like so far from everything. We're very isolated. But I feel like that's kind of a cool thing in a way because it forces us to kind of create our own culture. You know what I mean? Like, we are Texas and there is Texas culture in El Paso, but we also have like our own flavor. Also, we're on the border of Mexico. Like, we're a border town. So people that live in Juarez and Chihuahua always come over and we always go over there and stuff, you know, whether to eat or anything like that. And the culture is very mixed, very heavily, you know what I mean, with Mexico. So I think that's also really cool too. You could see it in our food and our clothing and like a lot of things. So I love it. I love being from El Paso, honestly.
That is what's up. So being from El Paso, you know, like you said you got the border there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you rap, okay?
Yeah.
So what was your influences like musically to get you into music? Because, you know, you had to have some rappers you love, but also do you like to blend in that Latino vibe to it, the Latino vibe to it? Because, you know, we saw the big wave of the last like maybe decade or so.
Yeah.
All the big Latin artists are just really booming, like from your Bad Bunnies to your what's her name? It's blanking right now. Carol G.
Yeah.
All those different artists right now. Like it's
Yeah.
just been such a growth. And, you know, it's been such a mainstream and brought up to the forefront. Like, if you look at the TV shows, now you have more and more big leading ladies from Latin, descent and stuff like that. So talk to me about that. How you got your influence being a rapper and being from the Latin community.
So I really fell in love with hip hop at a really young age because my parents were hip hop heads. Like they were more like East Coast love, you know, like they loved all the East Coast shit. And my dad would really play, you know, when he was alive, he played a lot of East Coast rap around me. And that's when I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, I like this. And then I want to say like that's after like I was like heavily like East Coast. That's when I started listening to West Coast a little later, Tupac and all them, you know what I mean? And then so I was just around that a lot. And then once I started getting like preteens and stuff, that's when like my aunts, they would like introduce me to like Chopped and Screwed and Texas shit. And I was just like, oh, this, I remember the first time I heard Chopped and Screwed, I was in my aunt's car and she was just playing a song. I forgot exactly what song it was. It was like an R&B song. And I was like, I know this song, but why does it sound like that? I was like, this sounds cool, you know what I mean? And then she's like, that's Chopped and Screwed, you know that? And I'm like, oh shit, you know, I was really young. But that's, you know, I want to say that's when I got into like Texas shit. And then, you know, it's just kind of evolved from there. And then when I started rapping, it was just like something that I feel like it was helping me through like process all my trauma that I went through in my life and stuff like that. And it was just like an expression for me. And I never thought that it would like take me as far as it has, you know, like it's helped me travel all of America, you know, and it's helped me see places I never dreamt of. I never thought I would leave El Paso at all. And the reason I left in the first place, the first time I ever really left El Paso was for music. So that was really cool. And it's definitely turned me into, I feel it's helped me realize my potential and turn me into the person that I'm meant to be. Because before this, I thought I was just gonna, settle in El Paso, never really, find myself. Because before music, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I tried college, that didn't work out. And when I was in college, I was changing my major every year just because nothing felt right. And I was wasting all this money on school and shit. And like, it was crazy. But once I found music, it just clicked. You know what I mean? I just like I knew like this is where, when they say like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I knew, and I feel like I'm gonna take this all the way for sure.
Facts, facts. And I want to run it back to something you said. For those of you not familiar with the Houston sound of Chopped and Screwed, all right? The artists back in the day, they'd have a regular album,
Hmm.
then they'd have a Chopped and Screwed album.
Yeah.
Man, that Chopped. I remember the first time I heard a Chopped and Screwed song, I thought my CD player was skipping for a second.
Yeah.
My boy laughed at me. He's like, "Bro, no, it's just Chopped and
it's
Screwed."
just
But
obviously-
you gotta see, rest in peace, Big Mo.
Yeah.
DJ Screw, all those guys.
Yeah.
They put something out there and
for
just
sure
just
change the
forever,
game.
forever. Cool. So when did you realize like I got something here? I'm a good artist. Okay, I think I got something.
It's like I want to say like one of my first shows. It was probably like first or second show. It was one of those shows where the only people attending was a artist. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no actual like
Fans.
fans.
Yeah.
It's just artists watching artists and waiting for their next turn, right? And it was one of those shows. And I like people were going up cool, but no one's really paying attention and shit. And then I go up and I perform like one of my first, like literally my first song. And then it was just kind of like the attention was just like, whoa, like that was kind of crazy. And I'm definitely way more developed since then, definitely. And I would even actually say like damn, like I had a lot to learn since that song. But the reaction kind of like showed me like, whoa, like I think I can do this for real. I think I can shine in this. And that motivated me to go hard for sure.
So let's talk about that. Let's run it back. You said, when you first started, what was like your first song? And let's talk about the progression from recording the first song to now. What was your process like then versus your process now?
Well, my first song was called Talk of the Town. And it was just me kind of like expressing, because at that time too, I had a lot of people my whole life I've had haters, like even before I was a rapper, you know what I mean? And so I was just kind of like talking about that, like kind of like, like I'm like, screw these haters and I'm gonna do me and and I know who I am and I'm out confident. It was just kind of like a confidence thing, like I know what I'm doing. And and I just was kind of manifesting the fact that I was gonna be the talk of the town one day. And crazy enough, like that ended up happening. But yeah, it was just kind of like a big manifestation song. And then I was kind of running around town doing little like shows here and there with that. And then I wrote this song, Supernova. And I had just written the song, but I had nowhere to record it because I was recording out of my bedroom, you know what I mean? And once Talk of the Town was like circulating, like it was just Facebook at that time, maybe even MySpace, you know what I mean?
MySpace,
Yeah,
man.
like maybe even, I want to say this is probably like right after MySpace. And then this producer found me and he hit me up and he was just like, hey, come record with me for sure. And I was like, all right, I'd never been to a studio or anything like that, so I'm down. And I show up, his name's Cass, shout out to Cass. And he just kind of sat me down and we had this big old conversation about what I wanted to do and stuff. And I was just very eager. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I just want to make music. Like, still to this day, that's what I just want to do, bro. Like, everything that comes with it, like, that's cool. But my ultimate goal in this is to make the most amazing music I can make in my lifetime, for real. Like, all this, like, lights, camera, action shit, that's cool. I do it. I feel like I do it well, but at the end of the day, the music is what matters the most to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what they say now. They say now as a music artist, not only are you a music artist, now you have to be a content creator because content is king, especially in a social media world we live on.
Yeah.
'Cause back in the day, you could just post a song and be, oh, I like that, without having to keep doing something to
I feel like
promote
that's
it.
my job.
Yeah.
Like my 9 to 5 is creating content.
Yeah.
Like that's when I'm clocking in and I have to do this and I don't want to do it, but I got to do it right. You know what I mean? That content is my 9 to 5 for sure. But creating the music, that's my passion, and like making sure that it's dope. And then when I lay something out and it's just like, oh, it's so fire. Like that's like the best feeling ever. You know what I'm saying? But So back to Supernova. So Cass ended up recording this song. I was like, I got this song. It's called Supernova. I really want to record it. And so he recorded me professionally. You know what I mean? It was really cool. It was like a whole different experience. And then I ended up putting that song out with a video. It was like my first video. And it was crazy, bro. Like, I just remember like the buzz it got once it went out. I was just like, oh shit, like it just felt for real at that moment, you know? And I think that's when I really, really knew. I was just like, oh, like I gotta go hard for sure. You know what I mean? Supernova for sure was the moment. Everything before that, I made a couple songs before that, which I feel it was just like, oh yeah, I'm rapping, you know, I'm rapping. Nah, Supernova was like, oh, I'm fucking doing this.
I'm doing
shit.
that thing on it.
Yeah, for sure.
You were swerving on that corner.
Yeah.
So you did Supernova.
Yeah.
All right. Where does Supernova take you from there?
So through Supernova, I ended up meeting my team that I still work with today. They're called LFDC, which stands for Live from the Corner, because El Paso's the corner of Texas.
Okay.
You know what I mean? 'Cause when we live from the corner of Texas. So I met them in Cass's studio, and on my first days being there, I ran into them. They were also rappers too, videographers and stuff, and they would show up to the studio sometimes when my session was ending, or I'd show up to when their session was ending, vice versa. And we ended up just like, you know, hey, like, let's work together. Let's do something like that. You're really dope. You're dope too. And then we ended up, they shot my video Supernova. And after that, they were just like, oh, we're gonna work together. We ended up making a group and went from there. But after that, I really feel after Supernova dropped, it was just the next one and the next one again. The next one came out, you know, and it was just like building and building with them, getting known in the city, El Paso really embracing me and stuff. One thing led to another. I ended up moving out of town to be a full-time artist, because before I became a full-time artist, I was cutting hair. I was a cosmetologist. So I worked in a salon. I was cutting hair, you know, doing facials and shit, which I love, by the way. Like, that's kind of like my second passion. Like, I still do my family's hair and stuff because I still want to be tapped in. But yeah, for sure. I was cutting hair to save up money to move out of town to really like pursue my dream and shit. And that's when the road got crazy, you know, once I moved. But yeah.
Okay. So you know the guy Smooth Acre, right?
Yeah.
How do you talk? What the fuck is
Smooth? Bro, oh look, I can't wait to say this. So I got this videographer, right? And I was around him a couple times when Smooth called me on the phone, and I'd be putting him on speaker, you know? And then he'd be like, oh yeah, you're gonna make some content, blah, blah, blah. And then my videographer was like, why he sound like Biggie laid up in a bed? I love you, Smooth. But I'm just like, he sound like that big dog just calling shots from the bed. He probably got his shirt off and shit. I'm like, nah, that's the energy Smooth be giving off for sure.
Bro, she cracks me up every. All right, so you've been working with Smooth, I want to say about like 2 years now or so?
Yeah, it's been about 2 years.
Because I remember when he first, I remember he told me he first mentioned you. It's been about 2-3 years ago. You know, what's that journey been like the last couple of years working with Smooth?
So, when we really first had that conversation, where do I even start the story? Because it was a mess before he came in play. So I was going through like this mess business-wise. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
And he noticed something online that I was kind of like, you know, struggling with this, you know, struggling with my output. And there was a reason. And he just hit me up because we already knew each other. Like, I had done a few of his shows and stuff before. And he hit me up. He's like, yo, like, what's going on with you? And I'm like, look, bro. And I tell him the whole story.
Yeah.
And then he was like, so you're independent fully now? And I'm just like, yeah, like, I'm not working with nobody right now. Like, I'm really on my own trying to make this happen. And he was like, well, if you don't mind, like, I can help you get some production. And if you want to work, you know, I'll shoot you some shows your way, you know, just to help you out. And I was like, all right, cool, bro. That would be really cool. Thank you. So he started sending me beats. and then booking me here and there, wherever he could. And that's how it started. And then, like, I had a lot to say. Well, I mean, I feel like I always have a lot to say, but at that time, it was like a lot of shit was heavy on me at that time. And then every beat he would send me, I was like, poof, 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 like sending him back. And he was just like, dude, like, let's keep working. So that's how it started. Like, we were just making music and booking shows. And I think, like, through that, and then him communicating with me, like, he's one that likes to call and communicate, like, how you doing, tapping in and stuff like that. And that was really cool because I really felt like he wanted to get to know me for real and just the kind of artist I am, the kind of person I am. And we just clicked. Like, I think he appreciated my work ethic and I appreciated his work ethic. Like, he was willing to work as hard as me, and that's hard to find. You know what I'm saying? So just throughout these 2 years, it started off small, and then it was just kind of like, let's do more. And now it's turned into like, dude, we're on the phone. I'm talking about like probably 20 calls a day. Like, and sometimes they're 2 minutes, sometimes they're 30, an hour. You know, it's just like checking in, making plays, making phone calls, doing this and doing that. Like, now we're moving like figuring all out this like puzzle every single day. And I love it because we're just in sync, I think. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like that's great to have someone that's very like, you know, in sync with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a lot of managers, they want to mold you in their image.
Yeah.
Versus them rolling with you.
Right.
And your flow.
Exactly.
And also I think that's what happens with issues in relationships.
Right.
People want to mold people into what they want that person to be, and not accepting who that person is for them, and try to make them fit you versus you know what I'm saying? Or you fit them, vice versa. Have them change completely, but first make sure you're all compatible. Basically.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that about Smooth because he lets me be me and he just enhances it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, you have this idea and you want to do that. This is how we can make it bigger. And that's beautiful because, like I said, I've been in messy situations where it was the opposite. It was like, I want you to be this, so do this, you know? And it's like, I don't even, you know, agree with this at all. Or this is not me at all, you know? And that kind of didn't matter at the time.
Man, that's awesome. You know, shout out to Smooth.
Yeah.
I crack up
big guy. The big guy.
And Smooth is, you know, he's hella connected. He's hella tapped in. For instance, now we all have a mutual friend, and Tessa B.
Oh yeah, Tessa B. And the B is for the baddest. Oh, so I see your shirt and your sweater.
Shout out Tessa. If y'all haven't seen that episode, go listen to that episode, man. Yeah. She's amazing.
What's up, Tessa? Love her.
We'll just talk about that for a minute here too. You know, you did her theme song, her new theme song, you know, because she's back in TNA.
Yeah.
And they got a show the 14th.
Yes, sir.
In El Paso. Well, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait. I don't know when the last time TNA has been out there, you know what I'm saying? I think it's been a minute. So El Paso's excited. Like, every time they find out that they're going to come, they're just like, oh my God, like, I'm going to go. That's cool. Not only is that cool, but Tessa has personally invited me to walk out with her in El Paso, like, and do the theme song as she walks out, which is so sick, dude. I've always wanted to do something like that. And she's really making that dream come true for sure. So I'm excited. She has been so nice and humble and just like, you know, really cool towards me. And I appreciate that because, you know, she's a star. And I'm just like, you know, and I was even a little nervous to do the song. And the fact that she even liked it was amazing. So I'm just very grateful to her and her team because they've been nothing but awesome to me.
So what was it feeling like when you were there? Because we were both there at the Genesis.
Yeah.
Here in Garland.
Yeah.
When she came out to that, what was that feeling?
Man, it didn't like hit me at first. Like when the song played and she came out, I started rapping the song, you know what I mean? I was just like, Diamante. And I was just like screaming it. I didn't care how crazy I looked. You know what I mean? Like all the fans like around me were just kind of like, how does this girl know this? This is the first time they're playing this song. How does she know this song? And I'm screaming these words, you know what I'm saying? And even this guy that was sitting next to me, he was a big Tessa fan. And he had his phone out and he's like recording her. And then he's looking at me. He's like, hey, you're the rapper on this song, right? I'm like, yeah. And
He's
he's
putting
like,
two
I
and two
thought I
together.
recognized you. And I'm like, yeah. It was so cool. But then after, after she had come out and she started wrestling, I sat down. I'm like my song really got played like at a wrestling event on pay-per-view. Like, wow, it kind of like all hit me. I'm all dressed up. I'm looking around. I'm just like, look at your life, girl. It was really cool. Honestly, I feel blessed.
And just think about that too. Like you have thousands, if not millions, of people listening to that song
Right,
simultaneously
right,
for the first time, possibly. So you just got introduced to a whole new audience got introduced to you
exactly.
through that. So that's just we was talking about this with Smooth Vega, the power of relationships. That's the thing I've been talking about all 2025 is the power of relationships.
Hmm.
You never know what one relationship can open up for another relationship.
Definitely.
And that relationship could open up to another door. They can open up. So it's always good to have great relationships with people. And when you get those relationships, do right by people.
Definitely.
Because it always goes back. I always use the example of credit.
Mm-hmm.
What is credit is your track record of what you've done with money in the past that gives you your credit score. So
Right.
you have a score essentially with other people and
Right.
how you treat them. But
For sure.
that was amazing. Like I was pumped, there. Obviously you see the shirt, you know what I'm saying? Only 5 people got this hoodie. She's one of them.
I'm one of them.
She's one of
What's
them.
up?
Yeah, it was hype seeing her, man. And just, especially her story and all the stuff she's went through, man, it's great to see her come back.
Right, yeah. The comeback is great. It's going to be big. It's already big. And I love it. I love that I'm a part of it for sure.
So let's talk about Champions.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
With Paul Wall.
Yeah.
You was talking about that Houston sound.
Mm-hmm.
How big and how did that feel for you, knowing like, oh my God, it's probably someone I listened to
It was.
from those days, sitting sideways,
Yeah.
all that different stuff,
Yeah.
Grills, so many songs we can go.
Yeah.
I like his new song, Swangers.
Yeah.
Well, that's my song.
Yeah, for sure.
What was that like and how did it come together?
So, man, just to start off, shout out to Paul because I have been a Paul fan for as long as he's been out. You know what I'm saying? I remember singing Grills. I remember putting that bubblegum foil on my teeth, and all of that, just wanting to be like him and shit. So the fact that the song even happened is just kind of making that little girl really happy, you know what I'm saying? But how it happened was for a couple years, I lived in Houston a couple years ago. And I was running around town with my boy GT Garza. Shout out GT Garza. And GT was really just my rap guru. At the time, he was helping me sharpen my skills. He was teaching me about flow and teaching me about other rappers and what they're doing. He really literally sat down and we would study rap together. He was really my teacher, Mr. Miyagi style. And so through the time that I was spending with GT out there in Houston, he was also introducing me to his, colleagues who was Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Baby Bash. He was introducing me to everyone in Houston. And once I met Paul, literally after he met me, every time after that, he was so happy to see me and get a big old hug and a big old smile. And he was so dope. And I always wanted a song with him. So one day I was just I was, in my studio and I was ready to write a song. And I was if I made a song with someone, who would I want to make it with? And I was you know what? I need a song with Paul Wall, period. That needs to happen. So I'm sitting there, I'm if I made a song with Paul, what would it be about? And I'm he's the people's champ. I need to make a song called Champions with him on it. That's literally how it started. I was I need a song with Paul and it's going to be called Champions. And then boom, the rest is history. I sat down, I wrote the song, I recorded it. I hit up Paul personally and I was just bro, I would appreciate it if you jumped on this track, blah, blah, blah. Really just and I understand, you're busy, all this stuff. I just hit him up and he said, yeah, he just straight up told me yeah, I fuck with you. I'll do the song. And he did it. like the verse. He had it for a little while. Smooth was I gave him the song, and then he had it for a little while, and that's when me and Smooth started working together. And then Smooth kind of just like helped it like finish off for sure. Like he helped me get that back. And that was really dope too, because it ended up being like a whole team collaboration at the end. Shout out to S.A. Partner for making the beat. And I had been working on like the concept for the video, and Paul ended up doing a show in El Paso recently, and I was like, dude, I'll do the video at your show, that way I don't got to like have you go here or there, like I'll do it right there in the green room. So I met up Paul at his show in El Paso, shot his scenes in the green room. It was kind of perfect because there was even like a basketball court behind us, you know what I mean? It just kind of like ties everything in together, like with sports and everything. I ended up shooting the rest of the video with LFDC, and came together and we put it out, and it's going. It's literally about to hit 100K. I mean, by the time this podcast probably comes out, it's gonna be
way over 100K.
Way over 100K for sure, and that's really cool. This is the fastest I've grown, like a video has grown on my channel. So shout out to Paul for real.
Shout out to Paul.
Shout out to SA.
Okay, so what was the first Paul Wall song that you can just like remember? Okay, just your first one that sticks out.
Honestly, probably like them early ones was probably Sitting Sideways, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Because of my aunts. My aunts was introducing me like to hit like the chopped and screwed versions of his music. But when I was just like with my homies and shit, it was probably like Grills. I remember Grills being a big song in my life. You know what I mean? Like walking around the streets around my neighborhood and just being like bumping that. I specifically remember a memory walking around with my friends with that song playing, you know? So definitely.
I think for me, it was him and Chameleonaire. Big swing as a button. It's a slit in love. Yeah, already know. That has to be my.
Yeah.
That's how I got introduced to like. I started going down like a dive. I'm like, all right. Then him and Chameleonaire broke up. Then of course he was on that Mike Jones, Still Tipping, which was what it do with Paul Wall on the People's Champ. Like it's just iconic. Like that'll be forever.
Yeah.
Then all them to Slim Thug. Like it's just like Houston ran like the rap scene for like a minute.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too because you listen to Houston music, but you come to Dallas, it was completely different.
Oh yeah.
People a lot of people have said an example like, okay, Houston's very slow. You know, they freestyle, man, I done came down. Here in Dallas, it was more energetic. Out here, you know, we had DSR, Big Tuck, Tom Tom. We had a bunch of other people out here. It was very, it was very almost very Atlanta-ish type, that crunk era when Dallas was really popping in that area. But it's crazy. It's like Texas is so big that you got so many different styles of music.
That is true.
Coming out of it, which I think that's amazing. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
So you talked about champions. You know, one of the things I've been noticing on social media, man, is your freestyles.
Yeah.
I know saw the Biggie freestyle.
Yeah.
We had the Missy Elliott freestyle. Okay, that you did in Dallas, by the way.
Yeah, Dallas.
How did that all come about?
So once me and Smooth came up with the timeline to start working on my album, once that was an idea, we were just like, well, we can't just like preview all your songs for their album. Like, what should we do? And Smooth was like, what if we drop like pieces of content of you freestyling and just kind of like showing that you could really do this, in the meantime getting everyone warmed up to your sound, to your abilities by the time your album comes out. You know what I mean? There's just kind of like a plan we had. And I've always wanted to do that. And I always wanted to remix shit, and I'm a big 90s baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just like love old school shit. That's my honestly, I'd rather cruise around to Notorious Radio than anything else. Like that's my shit for sure. And that's just my vibe, and that's definitely the sound I'm tapping into on the freestyle tip. And it's just fun, you know, it gets the people going. It literally does. I love it.
Okay. So if I'm correct, you got a show coming up March 21st Mexican OT.
Yeah.
Big X the plug.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be in South Padre Island, spring break, which is really cool. I have done that show one time a couple years ago, and it was lit. It was so dope. And the people are just like, they're just trying to have fun. It's spring break, everyone's getting crazy and stuff, and they showed me a lot of love. They did, for sure. And I'm so glad I'm able to do it again, but I'm doing a little more like, I was more of like an opener last time. This time I'm a little more closer to like the headliners.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I have opened up for Big X before. Oh yeah, and OT. I've opened up for both of them at separate occasions, and this is the first time I'm gonna do like open for both of them at the same time. So I'm really excited about that, and let's do it for Texas. And Big X is doing big things.
Boy,
I'm always
yeah.
seeing him on commercials. I'm like, look at this one
Yeah.
right here. Like, he's going big time. That's what's up.
Him and OT, boy.
Yeah, him and OT.
What was it? Johnny Dang freestyle he did?
Yeah.
Man, that went crazy. Then Big X, man, he just got his own style.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs right now by his is 2 a.m. He took the
yeah.
Isley Brothers Contagious
I
sample.
Oh, so sick.
That's just so sick. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I love it. Big X, he's one of my favorite artists. Before he really popped, I was like listening to his shit, and I was introducing a lot of people in El Paso to him. For real, like I'd have little like we'd go out and then kick back at the crib, and then what are you gonna play on the playlist? It's always like you got to play the jams.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna put my new shit on. You know what I mean? So I was putting Big X, and every time I'd put Big X on, like everyone was like, who this?
Yeah.
Who this? I'm like, oh, you don't know this. He's from Dallas. Like you don't know about Big X. Like I was putting if you know Big X in El Paso, I'll probably put you on.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing I have a love-hate for. Like, man, you have an artist that you love that they really haven't been like fully discovered yet.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, what y'all know? I've been knowing this or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when like they get really big, people are like, oh yeah, I love this person. I'm like, oh, y'all ain't been down. I've been on that type stuff like that.
For real.
All right, cool. We got this fun little segment we're about to do.
Okay.
If you're an OG Ray Ray's podcast listener or your first time listener, it's called
Slow down. I just wanna get to know you.
Slow Down. We just want to get to know you.
Okay.
It's where we kind of ask you some random questions off the rip.
All right.
We don't know where we're going to go. We're going to get somewhere eventually with it. But before we, progress in the Slow Down segment, I want you to shout out your social media and all the different platforms or different things you want people to check out.
Okay. So follow me everywhere at Krystall Poppin. Krystall with a K and 2 L's, Poppin. The most important thing that you can do is subscribe to my YouTube. Right now, I got a song out, of course, with Paul Wall. It's called Champions. The video is on my YouTube channel. Go check that out for sure. My album is on the way. So make sure you follow me on Spotify, wherever you listen to music. Like, I just got a lot coming, and you don't want to miss it. So definitely follow me everywhere.
Okay. Favorite question we always like to ask on the Slow Down segment, all right?
Okay.
I'm Ray. I'm the movie producer, director.
Okay.
I'm making the Krystall Poppin story.
Okay.
Who's starring as you in the movie?
I think, who I feel like it would be so cool. Honestly, I feel Zendaya would be so dope to play with.
Okay.
I just feel like we look alike a little bit, kind of, yeah, Zendaya.
I know who I would kind of pick for you.
Who?
I don't know if you watch like the power shows, like Ghost and Force like that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the Force, the Tommy series, his little girlfriend in the show, in the latest season. I think I can't remember her name, but I think she could play you.
Okay, cool. I like that.
I'm gonna have to look her up, and I'll show you later.
Yeah.
But that's who I think could play you. All
There's
right.
a picture of her right here.
Okay. So you were talking about you love the 90s music, all right?
Yeah.
Pick your top 5 90s hip hop and R&B songs.
Okay. Damn, gotta go through my playlist in my head. All right. TLC. Waterfalls.
Okay.
You said 5?
You can do 5, yeah.
Okay. Also, Candy Coated Raindrops.
Soul for Real. Yep.
Soul for
Candy
Real.
Rain.
Candy Rain. Escape. Oh, what's their fucking song called? Escape. Oh, there's this other girl too. By memory, dude. I could see their pictures and I always have their videos playing and shit. Oh, okay. 3LW too. I fuck with 3LW.
Haters are gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. And players they gonna play. Let me see. Boys to Men. For sure. Oh, they have a song that I like. Oh, I was like all heartbroken and I was playing their song.
Was it on Bended Knee?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it has to be on Bended Knee or End of the Road.
No, on Bended Knee.
Okay.
Okay, and then Casey and JoJo for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then Usher. Like, there's a lot of Usher songs too that I'm just like really attached to. Yeah, I think that for sure.
Okay. So I got a question for you while I'm thinking about this. So we were talking about like these like 90s and 2000s R&B like songs, right?
Yeah.
Now they got what's called the YN R&B. I don't know if you've been seeing that lately. Where they're basically taking these 90 R&B songs and making them street, basically.
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
There's been a lot of people doing that. Like, I'm like, what's your thoughts on it? Some of it be going hard.
It's interesting for sure because it just shows you like the power of music. Like music can be bent and twisted and just turned into something else for sure. Because at the end of the day, there's 7 notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those 7 notes create all this music that you know. Like, think about it. Think of all the music you know, and think of all the music you don't even know about. Like, and it's all based on 7 notes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's amazing, honestly. And like a lot of people hate when you touch classics, which I get. And sometimes people don't do it justice, and sometimes people just fuck it up. But like at the end of the day, if you like a lot of these songs are like samples anyways. Even 90s songs are samples from older songs. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
They said once upon a time the most sampled artist was James Brown.
Real? See, you see, like
I believe it was James Brown was like one of the most sampled artists. I can tell you who's another most sampled artist. The Isley Brothers, man. There's so many people. Like if you really sit down and listen, and there's a lot of guys that do this on TikTok. They take one song, the original song, and they say, okay, who's remixed it since then, or how many different variations have there been of this song? It's really cool. And like I always tell people about music. Music is a very powerful tool. It kind of dictates how you're feeling or how you want to feel.
Right.
For instance, like I'm getting ready to go to the club with the homies. I want something turned up. I want something kind of ratchet I'm playing. Like when I'm kind of sad, I'm got some slow jams probably playing. Like lady coming to the crib, I got the, setting the atmosphere. I got my list.
Yeah.
Also, if you're looking for a good playlist, it's called the P Dropper playlist on Spotify.
No way.
Made by your boy. All your greatest 90s bedroom music. It's there. Go stream my playlist on that one. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that's why music is so cool. Like,
right.
It's so amazing. All right.
Definitely. It's feeling.
You got a feeling. Okay. What was the last movie you went to go see?
Went to go see, like in the theaters?
Yeah.
Shit. When we go see a movie? Twister? Oh, Twister.
Twister.
Yeah,
okay.
It's been a minute. I need to go.
What was your thoughts on it?
I mean, it was fun to watch. It was cool.
Okay. So let's talk about some social media aspects right here for a second, okay? I was talking about how it's kind of cold in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you got to stay warm. If I remember right, there was a clip you saying, you love the big boys. You love the big boys. Cap? Is that Cap? Are you for real? For real?
My love is pure.
Okay. What a great answer. What a great answer. So hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
You know what I'm saying?
Respectfully, shoot your shot.
Yeah, literally. Nah, for real.
What was the reaction when you put that on there? Like, what happened? Like, what were people saying?
So I mean, half people were calling bullshit, which I guess I understand. You know what I mean? And half the people were like praising it and just kind of being like, "That's what's up!" Like, "Oh my god, we need more girls like her, and we need this movement to happen." And I mean, I didn't even do it to start a movement or nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I was just being honest.
Yeah.
I was just being honest because someone had just asked me like, what's your type or something like that on the interview, and I was just like, well, I like big boys, you know what I mean? Like, they're cuddly, they keep you warm. I'm a snagging ass bitch, you know. So I really feel like when I've dated guys that before in the past that were not snacking ass guys, and it's boring, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, food is like my love language, and
Okay.
and that's usually a big boy's love language as well. You know what I mean? And I love that. And I just feel like it's just big boys are just a hidden gem that no one really like knows about. You know what I mean? And then when you find out, it's like, oh, that's why I try to tell girls. I'm just like, you don't know about that. Like, you know about big boys. Because I have girls that are like, they like, you know, with your girls, you talk about relationship problems and all this and all that. And usually they date these fuck boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they date these guys that don't care about them, don't want to take care of them. And they usually got a big boy in the friend zone that's ready to, like, you know, step up.
He'll stand by.
Yeah, and they don't give him a chance. And I'm just like, you're missing out, girl. Like, girls, like, it's your fault that you're single, by the way. For sure. I guarantee you there is a big boy in your friend zone that will 100% be the love of your life if you give him a chance. I'm just saying, like, I'm putting it out there.
You just gave a lot of people some hope.
I'm just saying.
They're like, yes, there is a chance.
There is a chance, for real. And like, I think a lot of girls, like, they don't, I just think it's so stupid when girls are like, he's too nice. Like, you getting treated like shit is so immature, dude.
Yeah, it's
get over that. I definitely got over that early on, for sure, because like, I've been cheated on. I've been like played with in my face. Like, guys have hooked up with my friends. One of my boyfriends hooked up with my best friend. Like, it was just like,
jeez.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? And when I found my big boy, it was like the script was flipped, and it was just totally different. And yeah, I think that's just it is what it is, whether you want to believe it or not, you know.
See, some of you ladies, y'all wait till it's too late. You wait till after
Yeah.
3 kids. Now you're gonna get the good guy.
Yep.
Nope.
Don't do
Good
it.
guys don't do it.
Don't do it.
Like, nah, B. Deuces.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it's crazy, believe it or not, but like, when a guy like just like it is all about like fitness and looking in like image, and like, it's kind of not a turn on for me. I actually is a turn off for me. Like, when that happens, when it's all like looking great and pretty boy and shit, like, I'm not attracted to pretty boys, you know what I mean? Not to say that my big boy ain't fine, because he is fine. But I'm just saying, like, that whole, like, persona is because, you know what I feel like it was? In high school, those were the guys that were mean to me. You know what I mean? Even before high school, like, them popular, like, oh, football, track guys. Like, they were fucking mean to me. And I just automatically don't like it, you know?
I think at the end of the day, no matter who you choose, make sure there's someone that's all about you and being genuine for you.
Right.
And effort, man, effort goes a long way.
Yeah.
And also, too, like, you got to be consistent. You can't be introducing no girl to something to get her, then you fall off of what you introduced her to, bro.
Exactly.
That's consistency is the key. I say that to
Exactly.
everything. If you're persistent, you'll get it.
Yeah.
If you're consistent, you'll keep it.
Exactly.
That's just one of my that's one of my philosophies. I apply that to all
I
aspects
love it.
of life. Hell, I even tell you what I did for Valentine's Day for my,
What'd you do?
All right. So now I'm the type of person, if I buy me some J's, I gotta buy shorties.
Period.
You gotta do that. So got her some J's. I made like a little gift bag of all her candies. I put like a little champagne in it.
Love it.
I got an artist friend. His name's Trey Rose. He was on The Voice. Me and Shorty, we vibe up to this song by LMA called The Little Things. So I had him do a cover of it, and I turned it into a video and everything.
I love it.
Did that, sent the roses, the teddy bear, all that stuff. So that's what I do. But like, you gotta do that consistently, man. Just random flowers, just cause hey, it's Wednesday, baby. Like, just you gotta do that. Like, sometime, and you got some people that think like, oh, I'm not getting nothing in return. It ain't about that. Like, if you really care about someone, you shouldn't be able to hide it. And you got social media so twisted, like all these people on social media, like, oh, I need a woman to do this, I need a man to do this. At the end of the day, men need women, women need men. Yo, figure that shit out, bro.
Yeah,
like at the end of the day, like I hate seeing the whole balloon thing. It makes me cringe a little bit. Like,
yeah, I think with women, honestly, it's just like being thoughtful with a woman goes a long way. Just be thoughtful. Just be thoughtful.
Yeah,
like, that's what we care about a lot. Being thoughtful. Like
the right woman will, just be thoughtful. Like, now you do have some women out there, oh, you don't make this amount of money or you don't do this.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Shit, that girl ain't for you.
That ain't for you, all right? All right, there's a couple more questions. Let's wrap this up because I know you're a busy woman. You got things you got to do, all right?
For sure.
Tell me something you think is true that almost nobody else believe you or agrees with you on, rather.
El Paso has the best Mexican food. Period. Goodbye.
I'm gonna have to find that out for that. I'm gonna have to figure that out for myself.
That's a hill I would die on.
Now, Mexican food or Tex-Mex? Because there's a difference.
Mexican food and Tex-Mex. Both of them. Both of them. Okay.
If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, what three people you choosing?
Ooh. Let's see. I mean, I could get all philosophical. I could just go fun with it. Okay. Let me see. I think of the last person. Okay. Jesus, my dad, and Biggie.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You're the second person who's ever said Jesus.
Yeah.
I think, or third. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Second or third person who ever said Jesus. And like, I'm like, man, that is a good answer.
Yeah.
That really is a good answer.
I really would love to sit down with Jesus. You know what I mean?
And just like, I think one of the main things, if I could sit down with Jesus without asking him, how did you let people, when you try to do good, how did you allow them to treat you so bad? That's one of the things I want to ask him. Like, how did you do it? Like, you didn't have to do that, but you chose.
Because he loved them regardless.
Yeah.
Whether they were there to hurt him or not, he loved them.
Yeah.
Because that's why he was here.
I think that would be.
To prove that.
I think I do that. I've been asking too, how do I walk on water? Show me how to do that.
There you go.
I'm joking. All right, cool. So like I always like to ask these last two questions when we close at each interview, all right? The first being, if you can give any advice to anyone, no matter the subject matter, what advice would you give? And secondly, what do you want people to take away from the podcast you did today?
If I could give advice. No matter what stage you are in your artistry, always make more music. If it's your first day, if it's your 1,000th, 10,000th day, make more music. That's what I wish I would have told myself when I first started, because I feel like there was a lot of moments during my journey that, whether it was a high moment or a low moment, I should have made more music during that moment and expressed those feelings more. Because once you outgrow that phase or that era of yourself, it's really hard to tap back into it. It's not impossible, but when you have that just raw, actual, real feelings happening in you at the moment, like, that's material, baby. You know what I mean? Like, make more music, especially when you're feeling your lowest, when you're feeling your highest, when you feel like, oh, I'm on top of the world right now. Make more music. If you're down in the dumps, make more music. That's what I would say.
Okay. And you want people to take away from the podcast?
I want people to just, kind of say like, you know what, Krystall's cool. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way I seem online or whatever, but when people meet me in person, they're like, you're actually like really humble. Like, you're actually really cool. Like, you know, like, I thought you were going to be a bitch. And I'm just like, what? You know, just kind of like I do music because I love it, and I love people. Like, I love showing people that, like, you know, I like to spread love, and that's what I'm about, you know. So I hope people learn that about me, you know.
Okay, man. I appreciate you again taking time out of your day. I know you got a lot going on. We greatly appreciate that. And open invitation anytime you in a D. You was like,
Thank
you know
you.
what? I feel like doing a podcast. You know, get in contact.
For
We
sure,
got you
I'll
here.
definitely be back, especially around album time.
Okay, yeah, we do that. Talk about that album.
Mhm.
Make sure I go stream Champions now.
Champions,
Do
yes.
that. Go, stream Undeniable.
Undeniable forever with
And,
me.
and if you decide, being in El Paso, you want to hear Undeniable live, March 14th.
March 14th.
Go check her.
Yeah.
We started the show off with positive words. We always gonna end in on positive words. One being, like I said with her, something I always preach: if you're persistent, you'll get it. If you're consistent, you'll keep it. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. I'm sorry. Now, get your swag on real quick, all right? Rub your hands together like you Birdman. Tell yourself, I will boss up mentally. I will boss up spiritually. I will boss up physically. And I will boss up financially. Invest in yourself. It's your boy, Ray's podcast. The girl Krystall Poppin in the building. We gonna catch y'all next time.
Hey, get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting